Welcome to Women and the Businesses They Own, the podcast that celebrates women entrepreneurs, their stories, their grit, their breakthroughs, and the courage behind the businesses they've built. I'm your host, Sherry Hooper, and each episode invites you into a real conversation with a woman whose work, life, and leadership reflect both creativity and purpose. Today's guest is someone whose influence reaches into both heart and home, literally. Kim Vos is the founder of HomeWorks Interiors, a full-service interior design business serving both residential and commercial clients. She helps people reimagine spaces, create beauty from nothing, and transform everyday environments into something meaningful. She's also a mother of four. Three of them are in college, two are twins, and all with the names beginning with the letter C. And she navigates mom life, business life, and a weekly commute to her Traverse City showroom with a whole lot of strength and heart. I'm excited for this one. Kim's story is full of creativity, resilience, and the quieter, behind the scenes realities of building something while raising a family. So, welcome, Kim.
Hi, Sherry.
All right, if we want to get
Happening.
started, let's go ahead and tell everybody a little bit about yourself personally, something maybe I didn't already mention, or emphasizing a little bit more of what I did, and a little bit about your professional background.
Well, I am a mother of four. My oldest is 20, and then I have twins that are 18 and a 16-year-old. They're all involved in sports. Three are in college and one is in high school. I have been born and raised in Grand Rapids and been pretty much grown up in the whole furniture industry. My mom had furniture stores that started here in Grand Rapids in 1980 and just pretty much worked in them my whole life. And that was wonderful. I love to cook and I love to travel with my family. I love the beach and warm weather. And that's that's about all at the moment.
Okay, so for our listeners that can actually see us, because again, just as a reminder, we're on Spotify, we're on Apple Podcasts, but for those that are watching, you do not look like a mom of a 20-year-old, two 18-year-olds, and a 16-year-old. So what's your secret?
Oh, I don't know if there's any secret yet. I need a secret. As I get older, I need to start more secrets and try to figure them out. But
Well, you
thank
mentioned that
you.
you've been doing furniture your whole life because of your mom. Is that something that just because your mom had it, was it something that you naturally had a lean to, so to speak, or did you love it, or was it just because it was the family business?
Kind of all of the, I guess, all of the above. Loved working with my mom, and she was a great teacher, and that was really fun spending pretty much my whole life with her up until about 10 years ago. But she still works behind the scenes with me, so we pretty much talk about 12 million times a day. So that was cool. And no, I really did like, putting things together and colors and having a great outcome, helping people. And yeah, it wasn't something we were forced to do. Of course, we were forced to work, but not necessarily we had to start working in her business. But yeah, just something I kind of grew to love and went from there, I guess.
So did you go to college locally around here then too?
I went to Calvin College. My dad was a professor of religion and theology there. So that's pretty much where I was kind of
Go Knights!
forced to go. But it was a great school and loved it. And he was there, and I got to see him and study with him every day. So that was really cool. And
I
so I
think
went
that
for,
oh, well, I have to interject really
yeah.
quick. There is one thing that you could have done for Calvin, just being in interior design.
But
Would you have not helped in their color combinations?
ooh, yeah, the maroon and gold. Well,
Oh,
the maroon,
oh,
that's kind of coming in right now. There's a lot of burgundy out there right now,
okay.
the
Okay, I
deeper
like to hear
tone.
that.
So gold's a little gold, but we could go on the mustard trend or so, or a little duller than that. But yeah,
Well,
the
you
color.
mentioned that your dad was a professor there. So did that make home life conservative, strict, normal? Did you know the difference?
Some strict and mostly normal. My mom was also a teacher up until when she opened her business. And so what was kind of interesting for, I guess, in our family was the roles were kind of reversed. My mom worked nonstop in a retail business, growing that business, and it was very successful. And then my dad was kind of the mom at home since his days were kind of done at 3:30 or so. And so he always was cooked, cleaned, all that stuff. We brought her dinner every night or went to eat with her or stuff like that. So it was kind of unusual, but different and wouldn't change any of it and loved it. And
Well, that
yeah,
does sound really cool. That
yeah,
kind of helped you see that, traditional roles don't have to exist. It's a
correct,
partnership.
correct,
Yeah.
definitely.
So
He was
did you
very
meet
supportive and did everything behind the scenes for my mom and her business. But yeah, definitely the roles were reversed. My dad was home all the time, and my mom didn't go home till 9:30, 10,
wow.
11 sometimes, where then we would have sit with her and have dinner or whatever, a snack or anything. So
And
yeah,
by retail store, you meant the retail furniture store, right?
correct.
So you
Yes.
had one here in Grand Rapids for a lot of years. How did you transition to Traverse City?
We had the store here and I started working with some builders up in Traverse City, and they wanted to expand their business and have their clientele go from the building part to into fixtures and lighting and just try to keep them going the whole way. So we opened up a small design store up there right next to the contractors. And since then, it's grown into a 5,000 square foot store up there. So yeah, it's been kind of cool. But
So
there's so
you
much growth up there and so much building and so many second homes and retirement homes. And it's just a beautiful area. It's one of the top ones in the nation, I believe.
in the nation? Wow. I'll take Michigan for sure. Just,
Oh, I
we
know.
have to, we're Michiganders here.
Yeah. Summer is beautiful up there, even though everyone's like, you're so lucky you work in Traverse City. I'm like, yeah, it's great. It's beautiful. But I do like a whole week's worth of work in 3 days and don't really get to the bays much or see all the beauty all the time. But it is really pretty.
Yeah, so tell us about your commute. How do you make this work when your family, your kids go to school here in the Grand Rapids area locally, or most of them even college-wise,
Yep.
and then you have to get up to your Traverse City store. So how does that work?
When they were little. I left on Monday mornings after I dropped them off from school and then drove up there and I worked Monday all day, all night, and Tuesday all day, all night, and then Wednesday half a day and drive home to pick them up from school at 3 p.m. So yeah,
That's nice. Well, so I mean, it's nice when you own your own business. Obviously, you work crazy hours because you work 24/7 for about 2.5 days. And
yes,
then even when you're home, you're able to do a lot of the design work and what have you working from your home. You don't have to be in the actual store, obviously. But
yes.
the flexibility of being able to do, I mean, from my understanding, you've always been very involved in the kids' lives as well in terms of Teacher Appreciation Week and hockey dinners that need to be done. I mean, how do you balance it all? Something has to give.
Yeah, it does. That's for sure. But I wouldn't trade any of that for anything, to be there for them and to do all that for
Yeah.
them. But
Is your house a mess? I mean, what is the part that gives? Because
yes, the house is always a mess, but I do pick it up usually every night because I don't like to wake up and then see dishes in the sink or anything like that. But I would say my house is probably the least designed of any of my clients, so I'll have to work on that a little bit more when I
that
do.
tends to be the case with a lot
Yeah,
of us.
right, exactly. It always is. For years, my kids
Well,
were like, please, can we get a sofa for the basement? We're sitting on bean bags. And I was like, yeah, okay. I probably maybe by Christmas, maybe by summer, it's too hard sometimes to figure
what's wrong with
out.
bean
I
bags?
know. I love
They'll
bean
be back.
bags. Right.
If you hang on them long enough, they'll just go
Right.
back to the new pattern.
Yeah. Yeah. That's cool.
Do you remember the first space you ever transformed that made you realize this is what I meant to do? This is how you solidified staying in this area for at least it seems like longevity for you because you've been doing it for so
Yeah.
long already, but
Yeah. The first space that I transformed was actually for someone really close to me who just felt really stuck in their space. So, and it wasn't really about trends or budgets, but it was about how to make them feel better or help them feel more comfortable in their room. So, um, and when I saw that changing a space could actually like change someone's energy or confidence, I knew that this was something that I really wanted to do because I saw how rewarding that was. And and I didn't immediately think that maybe I would do that long term, but um I remember like standing there, moving furniture, rugs, lights, like just changing a few things in the room, moving the bookcase or whatever. And when I saw her emotional shift, like like go from relief and excitement instead of being overwhelmed in a room, it was not just about decorating the room for her. It was just like so cool and so impactful. And I just knew that at that time that that was something that I wanted to do for people and I was meant to do for people. So I don't know. I just knew whatever I did that, like, as a believer in Jesus, I wanted to do something that made a positive impact through my work for other people. And it wasn't just about the beauty of the design, but it was about helping people and serving them and feeling comfortable and peaceful and love their space. And um, I don't know, I just felt like I could help people do it that way and to make them feel just, I mean, everybody feels so much better when they love their home or they love the
Right.
place or environment that they're in. And so that was just truly rewarding to me. So that's
It
why
is amazing how many behaviors go into our spaces, right?
yeah, yeah,
Trying to work at a desk that's piled high. I mean, you just can't get the work done, or at least some personalities can't. Eventually you got to just get organized and you got to get sort things out, or colors on the walls. They talk
yeah,
about that a lot, right?
yeah.
Using the right color tones or palettes, somehow that can arouse anxiety or calm people down. Do you find that to be true? And how do you use that in your work?
Oh, oh, for sure. Just try to, just try to listen to what, well, let's say you said colors. Try to pick colors that they want in their room or what they're trying to, like how they want their space to feel, whether it's comfortable, whether it's peaceful, whether how it should function, there's calmer colors and then there's more colors that stand out or more colors that are energy or more colors that are forceful or all of those. So I don't know, just trying to listen to what the client definitely wants as far as in the colors part of everything, I guess.
So do you ever, because now that you've mentioned kind of some of these things, like I've seen on your website, you have a beautiful website, and there was just different themes or styles, rustic or beachy, or I don't even know. There was some beautiful, maybe some farmhouse something. So if somebody says, this is like how I want my room or my house, but the colors on, can you work within, can you build and help them be farmhouse ready and still have the emotion that they want? I mean, it sounds very individual, I guess, like in the
Yeah. Oh, for
tailoring.
sure. For sure. I mean, most people don't come to me with like, oh, this is exactly what I want. Some do, but most people come with I guess a style, or a lot of them come with more so like feelings, like I want my room to look calmer, or I want my room to function better, or I want it to feel like more like me or something like that. So then my job is to deeply listen to them and I guess ask the right questions. And I usually start by like asking questions, not necessarily about furniture or color, but um, more so questions about like how what does their day-to-day lives look like, or what brings them peace, or what feels chaotic to them, or what was a home like when they were growing up, or what is important to how they want to come in and out of the room or so. And then I pay close attention to like those emotions and their habits, and even like just the little ways that they pause and answer the questions, or just like what I try to read them the best that I can. And so then I translate like those feelings into space, like light, flow, texture, function, and then I try to show them like images because people are very, very visual today. Like they have to see it sometimes compared to you can't just show, you can't just say this is this. So you have to show them things. Or so you show images, materials, design ideas, layouts of their room, and then you just I listen to their reactions, and when we're kind of like on a path of like if they say, oh, that feels right to me, then I know we're kind of like headed the right direction. So sometimes that path is slow, very slow and intentional, but as the space starts to take shape, they begin to recognize themselves, like, and at some point even sometimes without even reacting to it, they'll walk in and go, oh, this feels like home. And then at that moment, like, I guess I know that I've like created something more meaningful to them than I guess nothing. So that's kind of the process, I guess, in a
Yeah. So if
roundabout way.
people can reach out to you probably on your website, coming to your store, calling you, however that may be. So when they come in, do you have in the showroom like different examples or different setups that they can see? Or do you have, I'm assuming that you have all the materials that you need and even accessories or furniture that they can buy.
We do, yeah, everything you
Okay.
can buy off the floor. And the store was really the store in Traverse City or any store for whatever. It kind of grew out of like my design work. And I wanted to have a store up there, especially because there wasn't much up there, I feel like, in the style and vibe of my store, but that people could experience to actually in real life to actually compared to like online or just looking at Pinterest, but something actually that they could actually a place where they could visualize those pieces in their room, and they could actually sit and feel and touch, and we can look at the material, or we can put things together in an actual place where yeah, we have vignettes of different styles and colors and woods and just a whole bunch of things. But yeah, every item is in there is selected with intention. I look for really quality craftsmanship and comfort, timeless design, pieces that feel warm, comfy, honest, rather than trendy. So try to have all the timeless classic pieces, I guess.
I'm sure like I mean, I don't know your business very well, but I'm assuming that you would probably have to know what's going on for the future. You might be selling something today, but have to know the trends for next year, or maybe they have conferences or different things that you have to go to kind of stay on top. How do you stay on top of the trends?
Um, I'm on Instagram a lot. I follow a lot of designers and read their blogs and stuff. They're listen to a lot of sales reps. They have a new and upcoming, they see designs at a lot more shows and stuff. There are two furniture shows that are major in the furniture industry. They are in April and October, and it's the International Home Furnishing Show, usually in North Carolina. And that's where all of the vendors set up showrooms, and that's where all the dealers or designers go, and you can view the new things coming out for that the companies are making and manufacturers are making, and see all the new color trends, and there's seminars, and so that's a really good way to stay up to date with everything. Plus it just revives your whole, like when you're in that whole environment, because it's so
Yeah.
huge down there with and all of the same people kind of doing the same things, and everybody is excited about what the market's going to do this year with the furniture, and what colors are coming, and what wood colors or wood tones. And so it kind of refreshes you to get into that element for 3, 4, 5 days or whatever, and then come back and bring that back to your own showroom and to your own clients and stuff.
I can see where that would be just really energy
Yeah.
building. And then even just
Yeah.
networking with other people, you just never know
Oh, for
when you're
sure.
gonna need to reach out to somebody else, or I don't know. It's always kind of who you know, I think.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Who you know.
It is true. That is true. For sure.
That, that is the one thing. Well, so I was just wondering with again, it's just amazing that you have three kids in college, and we should probably give a little bit of background on the college because you've got Hope.
Yes.
Woohoo! Hope
Woo.
is what is their mascot?
Dutchman. Dutchman.
Dutchman, Dutchman. Okay.
Flying Dutchman, yeah.
And then you've got one at Oakland.
Yes.
Who are
Grizzly
they?
bears.
Grizzly
Grizzly
Bears.
bear.
And here's the surprise. You have one all the way out in Utah.
Yes, that's the Aggies. They were like bulls,
Oh,
like
both.
Aggie
Okay.
bulls or something. They're
Okay.
called the Aggies.
Okay. And she's your only daughter. So
Yes,
that's got
correct.
to be a little bit tougher to have your daughter away while the three
So
boys are somewhat
far.
close to home. So how
Yeah.
do you, is there a time, or a season in your life that just taught you the most about balance? I mean, when you're an owner and a designer, those are almost two jobs sometimes in itself, right?
Right.
Sometimes you can
Yeah.
own a store, but then you also do the design work, and then you're the best mom out there, I'm sure, because I already heard you say you want to maximize the time that you have, and you're already seeing the end as they're all off to college. So where, I don't know, is there balance or do you just have this crazy chaos?
Uh, yes, yes. Both, yes to both of those. But I think the season that taught me the most, both business wise and motherhood, was that stretch when my children were younger and they were really deeply involved in sports, while my work was also growing and more demanding at that, I guess at that time, because the business was more so starting than it's now 10 years old up there. But it was definitely a season of early mornings, late nights, constant travel every weekend, and learning to make decisions when I was so tired and stretched thin. And um, I don't know, I had to become incredibly organized and flexible and realistic about my limits and what I can and can't accomplish, I guess. And about finding grace that is essential for myself and I guess and others. But yeah, that was a really that was a challenging time, I guess. But I learned that it's about being present where you are. And I guess some days I was fully on mom mode, and then other days I was mostly on, some days on business mode. So um, sometimes that was good to separate that a little bit. But and I didn't I sometimes you have the guilt of that, but then I had to get over that. And I was good with that. So that mom guilt had to go away and just fully focus on them when I was in the mom mode. But
So
um
you're telling me that you have the secret sauce to being guilt-free.
oh no, I try to attend as much as I can. Maybe that's how I get by with the guilt-free stuff. So but try to attend as much as I can when they were growing up, and every game I could, and hardly missed a few. But for the most part, I tried to be there as much as I can. But that season shaped, I guess, definitely how I work today, like with empathy, patience, and understanding. And then just realizing that the people that are my clients too also bring their whole lives into their work as well. So yeah, it just taught me that success in business and motherhood isn't about balancing in each moment, but about faithfulness and priorities and just showing up constantly, even when it is hard. And that's, yeah, that's, I guess, that's what I guess I go by, I guess.
And as I'm listening to you, I'm thinking somehow you're making pasta dinners with 2 hours notice. I don't even know how sometimes you have the right groceries, but you definitely seem to be the person that can pull off anything in a moment and you make it look so easy. So kudos to you.
You're so sweet.
Well, I was going to ask you a little bit about design business. Every design business has different obstacles.
Yep.
Sometimes there's delays. I mean, I'm assuming you do new construction to remodels, and of course, even commercial would look different. But, what has been one of those hardest challenges?
Um, One of the hardest challenges has definitely been that I have learned that you can do everything right in the path of the design or whatever. Everything can go together smoothly, but there's still always delays or budget demands or shipping issues or something that is overwhelming. So I mean, no matter what, something might happen, and you have to shift, and how you go about that is important. And I've had to learn how to adjust and to do that. And then Some other obstacles are just that I faced is like through season of uncertainty where there's been like financial pressures and long hours and making decisions when you don't know necessarily the outcome. When there were moments when you have to make decisions what's right, what's easier to do in the short term, but then what's also right to do in the long term. So um, I've just learned that a lot of those decisions are often about trust and like trusting your experience, trusting the experience you have, the values, sometimes simply even trusting God when the path isn't clear. Um, I don't know. Those are just, I guess, some obstacles. They've definitely shaped my resilience, taught me how to like refine my priorities, and I guess bring me back to why I started doing this in the first place. So,
I'm sure it can be really chaotic to work with a lot of different, like you're in the construction world a little bit, or in that remodeling. So you're always waiting for like the plumber or the electrician, or when can
yeah.
you get in to do this, or the painter, and then don't mess up the walls. The carpet guys come in, or the tile guys, and I mean, I can imagine that flow. Have you? I mean, you're just used to it at this point, or is there always just something new that comes up?
Well, there's always stuff that definitely comes up, and you hit on a little bit. Commercial is definitely different than residential. I feel like commercial just, I mean, that's a whole different experience, I guess, compared to residential. And there's a lot of things that come up that you have to manage differently with that because that just involves larger teams, more regulations, more permits, actual budgets that you have to deal with. But and you work with a lot more people like architects and
Yeah.
lighting specialists or plumbers or electricians and contractors. And there's always a strong focus on timelines and efficiency with those type of jobs. And or especially paying attention, close attention to details is essential with those jobs because every little decision affects the outcome in a larger like commercial job like that. But in residential is just definitely way different. And then you handle those issues differently. You're working person more, it's more personal and you work with the homeowner. So you handle
Right.
those more so with the homeowner and directly with them. And how to change things or what needs to be done or what the delay is or and a detail is also important in residential. It's just it comes out in a different way. It's more so in the finishes or in the personalities or the textures or the comfort of how they want the room or how they want the space to feel day to day and stuff like that. So there's definitely different challenges with different parts of those, I guess. So you learn how to deal with that a little bit different, I guess.
It comes with time, experience. You've been doing
Correct.
this a long time. So, what would you say is the most common room when people want to remodel? What's the common room that people want more often?
Um, Probably a living room,
Okay.
probably the room that they're in the most. I mean, just to change it up a little bit because if they have a family, they're usually always together in there, I guess. Um,
Okay.
Bedroom probably second, master primary bedroom, I guess, for the
I'm
homeowner is
okay with
usually
master bedroom.
yeah.
Some of these changes and name changes,
Terms, right. You have to change it up a little.
I'm not good with change. Yeah, I'm noticing that tends to be something that they're changing. But what
Yes.
about kitchens? That's what I tend to look at the most.
Yeah.
I don't know why. But I love, this is probably trendy. It's probably not great. I would say that I'm more, I don't even know if this is a term, classic, because I
Yeah.
just want it to be somewhat neutral and clean and organized and big space and beautiful, but I don't want to change it all the time. So I
Yeah.
try to stay away from too many trends. But I really love these kitchens with these darker colors and these
Yeah.
gold
They're
handles
pretty.
and stuff.
Yeah.
Please don't tell me that's going away yet.
No, no, it definitely is not going away. Pretty classic, timeless look right now, for sure.
Yeah, I love that. But if I get into like navy blue or this beautiful green, I don't know what you would call the green, but
Uh, there's so many pretty shades of green.
right, and they're using it for all of the cabinetry, and then they're not even all the cabinets aren't even the same color anymore. You're kind of doing this blend, this mix.
Correct. Yeah, the islands are different colors than the perimeter sometimes. And
Yes. I mean, I just think that your job would be so fun to be in there and just create and just
Yeah.
splash a little of this over here. But I
Yeah.
do love that. I think it's beautiful.
Yeah.
However, I am not a fan of one kitchen sink. I can't do it. I can't do one kitchen sink. I see that so often. Tell me, I need to know, tell me the positive of one kitchen sink. Why do people want this?
Huh. Well, if you have a smaller space or you didn't want to put a sink in your island, one sink is probably, usually what's common along the perimeter of the kitchen. Or sometimes people put them in the island. It just depends. Or a
Yeah,
bar sink somewhere.
I
Um,
get that. If you could do a bar sink in the island, but have your main sink or something, but I'm always struggling over like letting something soak or wanting to de-thaw, like let your meat unfreeze and then you have to wash something and you don't have this division.
I
Probably
can
goes
tell
from your
that's really
first to last.
bothering you.
Kind of does.
Yeah.
Okay, so if a client thinks about a space that you've created for them, or I guess just kind of think of somebody, a couple of different clients that might pop into your head, and you created these spaces, what do you hope that they remember most about either their time working with you or the completion of the work that you've done?
Um, let's see. Well, design is definitely incredibly emotional, I feel. And so I hope that the clients remember how they felt when they were working with me. Um, um, as I said, design is very emotional and it's very personal. And homes hold all of our stories, our memories, our families, our daily lives. I hope people remember that they were truly listened to and they were supported and they were confident in the process that I helped them with, that I cared and listened to the details that mattered most to them, and that their space didn't just look good, but it actually felt good to them. It functioned well. It was more peaceful. It felt more like a house or home to them. Um, and if someone walks into their room or their space and it feels all of the above that I just mentioned, then I know that that's success to me. On that, yeah, I guess that's what I would hope that they would remember.
And all of their friends, when all their friends come over and just go, "Oh my gosh, I love this.
Right.
This is beautiful. Where did you get this? I love your
Yeah.
design." And then they're just ogling over it, and you're just like,
Right. Yeah.
that
Yes.
always feels good. Any one of us would love that
Yeah, for
in the
sure.
work that we do. So, I mean, yes, you have your Traverse City store, but you have clients from all over, I'm sure. It doesn't, you don't just do work in Traverse City itself, do
Correct.
you? I mean, kind of give us an idea of how far out do you do your design work?
Well, I do a lot in Traverse City, as you said. I do a lot in Grand Rapids also. Florida, I have some clients down there. Arizona, I have a few clients over there. I mean, we'll ship wherever and we'll help anyone remotely or yeah, with any plans or designs or anything. So
And they don't necessarily have to actually do design work. They can, your store, they can just come and buy furniture,
sure.
accessories, artwork,
Yeah.
right? It's
Yeah.
just a showroom. So, and then if
Correct.
you wanted to do some design work, of course, then you're there to do that as well.
For sure. Yeah. We even have people from Texas. It's starting to be a lot of people from Texas come up to Traverse City. And so now, if you do one home up there, then you kind of get the other home sometimes in
Yes.
Texas. So it's
Right.
interesting. Yeah.
Seems like you'd have a lot of Chicago people
I know,
even.
right? Yeah.
Come on, Chicago.
I know. Wake them up a little bit.
We need to. Okay,
Yeah.
so your store, I mean, you say Traverse City, but are you on are you down by the lakeshore? Are you on the south end of Traverse? Where would you, just to give a landmark for people looking?
So I guess if you're from Traverse City, I guess people call it Chum's Corner. So we're on US 31 South and kind of right across from the ballpark. I guess there's a Traverse City ballpark right there. So
Awesome.
yeah,
Perfect.
right next to
Perfect.
Tractor Supply. So it's a pretty
Director said, like,
landmark.
you got it all.
Right next door.
Mhm. Well, if you're enjoying this conversation, please make sure to follow Women and the Businesses They Own podcast wherever you would find podcasts listed. And please leave a quick rating or share the episode with a friend. It goes a long way in helping other listeners find these incredible stories. And now we're on to the lightning round. So, this part, we're just going to go ahead and I'm going to throw off a fun little question, and then it doesn't take too much thought. It's just going to be hopefully a quick answer.
Okay.
So, one thing you always add to a space, what would be your signature touch?
Ooh, one thing I add to a space. Always something black, I feel like. Black's a good
Okay.
classic color that you can mix pretty much throughout the whole house and carry it through, and it can coordinate with something else.
Okay.
Um,
Perfect. How about your,
Texture. I love texture, so I
oh,
would texture in something.
like a texture like a
Pillow, a
corduroy?
pillow. Yeah, like corduroy. Sure, that'd be good.
How about your coffee order when you've got installs plus four kids in sports? What's your go-to drink?
I like a some sort of latte, any a French vanilla latte or so. That kind of always does well with me.
Okay. What is the worst do-it-yourself trend you wish would disappear?
Oh dear, do it yourself trend. Huh. Maybe like shiplap of some sort. Like there's some
Okay.
people that really put it up incorrectly, I guess.
Okay.
You know,
There
like
you
putting it
go.
into the boards or a either horizontal or vertical in wrong spaces, I guess.
Perfect.
That's what
I
comes to mind the quickest, I guess. I'm sure there's a better one that
mean,
I can't think of, but you said quick, so I'm like,
yeah.
"Okay, quick
But
here.
how about shaggy carpet?
Shaggy carpet, that'd be a good one too.
Okay, if your design style were a season, which season would it be?
Hmm. My design style for a season. Um, Winter. I like the cozy textures, comfortable, moody rooms sometimes, darker palettes of paint on the walls. Yeah, probably
That
cozy,
sounds good.
fireplace and all that.
Oh, yeah.
Plaids, some really cool plaids. Not the traditional plaids, like more contemporary plaids. So yeah, probably winter.
What's one thing you always keep in your car because, mom life? What do you have to have in your van?
Mints,
Okay.
sunglasses.
Mints are good. How about your
Sunglasses, I
favorite?
have to look good, whether it's winter or not. You can always put them on your head and look good.
What is it? A hat?
Sunglasses.
Oh, sunglasses. Sorry, I missed that one. Sunglasses are good. Yes.
There you go.
It does have a very yeah, sunglasses have a nice little classic look about them.
Right. Yeah.
What's your favorite room to design?
Living rooms. I think
Okay.
living rooms, or I like boys' bedrooms too. I feel like I really
Oh,
have a knack for that. I've kind of gotten that down.
you should with three boys all in sports. You've probably done
Yep.
some really good things there.
Yeah.
Um, what instantly ruins a room?
Too much furniture in the room, or not the right walkway. Like you can't get in a room correctly because the furniture is too big,
Okay. Oh.
like size wise, balance.
And then completing this sentence, a well-designed space should always make you feel,
Well designed space should always make you feel peaceful.
yeah, I like it. We'll see, those lightning round questions were awesome. You did great.
I was
Kim,
worried when you described them. I was like, "Ooh,
you got this. You got this. Kim, thank you for joining me today. Your
you're
creativity,
welcome."
your work ethic, and the way you've built a business while raising a family is such a testament to your strength and your purpose. I know our listeners will walk away feeling inspired, encouraged, maybe even laugh a little because we had some fun. But today you told us your story and you said it beautifully. And to all of the listeners that are tuning in, thank you for joining us for another episode of Women and the Businesses They Own. And remember, she came, she spoke, and she inspired.
Thank you, Sherry. It was fun.